Hello, everyone, and thank you for having me today. Have you ever seen pictures of sea creatures stuck in plastic waste or wild animals eating plastic just to survive and thought about how to help? The problem we have in today's society is that most people are taking many steps that harm the environment instead of helping keep the environment clean. I am not a world renowned environmentalist or anything renowned, but I am someone who cares about the world that we live in and believe that together we have a chance to stop this growing crisis. You all should be listening because if we don't change people's minds on how to clean up the environment, it will only get worse. It won't affect us greatly in our lifetime, but it will drag on and deal a great amount of damage on the ecosystem and force the next generation, like your kids or younger family, to suffer and try to fix the problem at its worst point. Only 5 to 6% of the 46 million tons of plastic waste generated annually in the United States gets recycled according to phys.org. This means it's not only just the people that have to make a change, but the country in its entirety. Most of the plastic waste is actually burned, and the chemical properties in the waste is released into the air that we breathe. The air that we breathe will also be contaminated when we breathe out the CO2 that the trees and plants use to produce oxygen. This will in turn harm the very thing allowing us to breathe. Whatever isn't recycled or burned is in landfills or in the ocean, rivers, and streams, creating unsafe drinking water and even worse living environment for the wildlife. Historian Thomas Fuller once said, "We never know the worth of water till the well is dry." Approximately 36% of all plastic produced is used to create packaging, 85% of which ends up in landfills. The U.S. produces more plastic waste than any other nation according to National Geographic. Most countries are lacking the required amount of waste management and collection systems to take care of the overwhelming amount of waste being produced. Physicist Albert Einstein said, "We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we use to create them." To help stop this growing monster, you only need to start recycling and spread awareness to start helping around the community. Annie Leonard, a proponent of sustainability, says, "There is no such thing as a way. When we throw anything away, it must go somewhere." Plastic waste has been increasing at an alarming rate with no sure way to fix it. There has been a 263% increase in plastic waste per person in America from 1980 to 2018, according to phys.org, thus creating an overflow at landfills with little places to throw the rest of the trash. With nowhere else to throw the trash, we will have no choice but to create new landfills closer to civilization for a nice daily view of our destruction of the environment. Well, you might be saying there's no way that I, one person, possibly could stop this global problem. Well, yes, as one person it won't be much, but it's a start and that's all we need to get more attention to the problem. So you'll start as one, but end as many. The average person generates about 4.4 pounds of waste each day, which is a lot, but it can be fixed rather fast just by getting a recycling bin. Doing the right thing isn't always the easiest and fastest route. Let's say we don't try to recycle more and leave the problem as it is. Imagine in 10 years' time you're walking your kid to school with a rebreather on because the burning of plastic has made the air unbreathable. All water fountains are gone because all of the waste in the oceans and rivers has contaminated them to the point where a water purifier is a necessity in every household. You go on a nice vacation to Hawaii to only be greeted by dead sea life floating atop of the water, if there is any sea life, with garbage everywhere, and you had to fly in because the boat motors got clogged with all the plastic waste. This is the world that we will be looking at in the near future if we do not change our ways. The ways for you to help stop this crisis are very simple. Spread the word through social media, flyers, and even get a spot on the radio will help spread awareness for recycling. Another way to help in this fight would be get a recycling bin and make sure you sort the trash so the recyclables actually get recycled. Whenever you go to the supermarket to get groceries or any store, just make sure you ask for paper bags instead of plastic and buy as little plastic products as possible.